All right, guys, seeing as that we are in the month of November, and what this month represents is this, for me and for a lot of other people, it represents a month of gratitude and thankfulness. Now, we can probably sit, and if you have not, sit down and really, really get in tune with everything that you were grateful for in your life, grateful for in nature, grateful for the relationships that you have. And I'm grateful today for all of you guys, and here's why. Not only do you hold me accountable, you guys have pushed me to be a better person, because I have a duty and I have a responsibility to show up for you guys. And so I wanted to just thank you guys for being here, for supporting me, for spending a little bit of your time each week with me. I cannot tell you how grateful I am, because I know that time is the most precious thing that we have. And you guys come together with your brothers and sisters 3 times a week. So this morning, I am grateful to each and every one of you. Before we get started, in true fast form, for the people that don't know me, and if you're a guest, I'm Elias Astuto. I'm the Director of Sales and Coaching for Fast Real Estate. We have an amazing guest on the line today, and we're going to get into introductions in a moment. But before I do so, I'm actually going to turn it over to Delaney. I've chosen you this morning, Delaney, to bring the team out on the field. I see what you're doing out there in the community, in the gym. I had a conversation with Patty the other day, and she's like, that woman has pushed me and taken me to the next level. So appreciate everything that you're doing. Go ahead and take the team out on the field on this beautiful, beautiful Wednesday morning. So without further ado, Delaney.
Oh gosh. Well, thank you.
No, I mean, no pressure. Okay, you better kill that shit.
I feel so grateful to be a part of this team. I love the energy, constantly, meeting new people, getting to know people, helping each other. Joellen introducing me to people so that I can set up fundraisers, and Sarah working with me to set up fundraisers, and just everyone in the Sacramento office also always helping. Anyway, I think the last 2 months are very exciting, because it, like what we've been talking about, is setting up for the new year. So that's what this last 2 months, I'm not thinking about, oh, let me relax. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna definitely spend time with family, but I'm like amped up for the new year. I'm already starting the new year today.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I love that.
That's what I got.
Okay, good. And that's a perfect message, you guys. If you have an opportunity today, I want you to go back and read an email that I wrote this morning. And it's really about, this is not the time where we relax. I get it, spend time with your family. I'm not saying don't, but this is the time where you make sure that you're doing everything you possibly can to make sure that your family has a nice holiday season, right? Think about it. You have 30 days left. I look at it, you have 30 days left to put somebody in escrow to make sure that your family has an amazing holiday season, right? And so we're going to talk about that at another time. I wrote an email. I want you guys to reflect back on that, answer the questions, and be honest with yourself. But community, and this is why this whole session came together. I saw Laura speak at Elevate in Santa Cruz. We had never met before, and she hosted a women's panel, and she was the moderator, and she was obviously there to contribute and pour into the group. And I thought it was incredible. And as we go to these events, I'm always looking to say, how can I build a better relationship with somebody that I can bring into our group that can bring value to you guys? And so I want to do official introduction to Laura. So Laura's title is the Global Head of Community in Industry Relations. And I think what we are seeing now more so than ever is the true power and the evolution of people leaning into their community and bringing together the community of realtors. There was a time in real estate 10 years ago where it was like, don't talk to me. Oh, you're new, Justin. Yeah, go figure it out. And then when you figure it out, you can have some coffee with us. Super, super coveted, right? It's like people didn't love on people. Well, things have changed. And the people that are contributing at the highest level and building community are the ones that are winning across the country and across the world. And so, Laura, I'm very excited to hear from you today. Our conversation today is going to be about thriving in a changing market. But I want to preface this. By saying that some of the shit that we're going to talk about today is not going to be new to you. It's not going to be new. But I'm hoping that some of this reaffirms and gets you guys back to the things that we need to truly, truly be focusing on to win in this market and in the coming months. So without further ado, I would love to introduce Laura Monroe. She is the Global Head of Community for Inman, and she is an absolute killer in the industry. So Laura, I would love for you to take the mic. I'll be over here in the background, and then we'll do some Q&A afterwards. So without further ado, let's send some love to Laura Monroe, our guest, and I'm going to turn the mic over to you.
Thank you so much. That was a wonderful introduction and a wonderful prelude to our story. I mean, our connection story, which was so very cool. And I want to thank you, Elias, for allowing me to be part of the Keep It Moving coaching session today. It's incredible to see all your faces, and you guys are all neighbors. So I'm really excited to be able to kind of chat with you today. And like Elias said, it's like there's nothing really new that's happening. But I think, you know, from my perspective, I want to get like just a really quick poll before I sort of open up a little presentation. Just go into the chat and let me know how many of you know who Inman is and what Inman is. That'll kind of help me guide the conversation. Just go into your chat, say yes or no. I like to call this the waterfall chat. It's like 1, 2, 3, everybody go in and talk about it. So good. So far we're getting mostly yeses. So that's great. And okay, so this is good. I can tell you a little bit about Inman, and I'll just kind of dive right into it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oh, it says it's disabled participant screen sharing. Anyway, you can.
Got it. It's on.
Oh, okay. All right. So let me go to my desktop. And I'm going to come here and go into present mode. There's always that awkward, I have to share my screen moment. All right, so basically we're going to talk about how to survive and thrive in this market. Again, my name is Laura Monroe. I am the global head of industry for Inman. We are both a trade publication specifically for residential real estate at inman.com. So we report on the news. One good clarification that I've had to say over and over is that we do not give news out to consumers. So we're not your normal mainstream publication. We are here for the real estate community and the real estate industry all across the globe. But what I do at Inman is I handle our brand ambassador program, which is going quite global. I manage a lot of our event marketing, a lot of our community and digital channels. So I'm kind of like what Elias said, just the normal everyday public relations, industry development person that's out there helping to represent the community of real estate professionals. So that's just a little bit about me. You can find me on social media. I love to stay connected to anyone that's local or anyone in my community, but Kenny Fass has been a regular speaker, and I'm hoping that we can get Elias to come to some of our events and maybe many of you in the near future. That would be absolutely amazing. But today, I mean, let's just talk about, you know, the current landscape. None of us are escaping any of the news. It's just a topic of conversation. And while it's really important to stay on top of this, this seems to be changing on the daily. But mainly, I mean, as far as EXP came out with earnings calls, that was one of our top stories that just came out. And it's getting real. You know, one of the amazing things about EXP is that there's been a 12% increase in revenue for the third quarter, which none of us really expected. But profitability is still a big challenge year over year. So across the board, we all know that it's gotten real, and we just need to continue to remind each other that we're here for each other. So let's just kind of get into it. So this is the truth of it all. Not everyone will succeed in a shift. Some will, but anyone can. Any one of you that are actually on the call today can and will succeed. But it is, like I'm sure you've had in your coaching calls, this is a matter of your mindset. And anytime there's a change, whether it's in the economy or in real estate in general, this is kind of a life event, right? And anytime you go through a life event, whether it's a move, a divorce, a death in the family, even in your own business, it's like you kind of have to batten down the hatches, take care of yourselves first, get really real with what you have to control and what you can't control, and really make sure that you're double downing on those things to really make sure that you're taking care of your family and yourself first. That's the best way to get yourself into the right mindset to handle any situation and any opportunity that's going to come your way. You're going to be open for it. So never take your eye off your own mental health, your own ability to be able to connect with others. It's not the time to get a deer in the headlights sort of attitude or analysis paralysis. Lean into the people that give you the right energy, the right why, and you can pretty much do anything. But I think it's true. Many of you will agree that we are going back into building mode. So you might be strategy planning right now, but how do we continue to, batten down the hatches on our fundamentals and keep going? So I think everybody, you've probably already been doing this these past few months. It's been such a screeching sort of a halt. But again, if you put it in big perspective, a lot of what's happening is this is going back down to very normal levels. There's good and there's bad, no matter whether it's a seller's market or a buyer's market, there's opportunity in every single one. But for all of you individually taking stock of your goals, once you've gotten real about where you are and what your goals are, you just need to double down on your focus and your intensity. And it doesn't necessarily mean working more hours and, putting yourself right into the, exhaustion, burnout, stress, and overwhelm. It's really about taking care of yourself, but then really working smarter and finding out ways to really optimize your time and your money to continue to build. So one of the things that we did last month was we had a virtual event. We had about 2,500 folks across the country, and we had Gary Keller speak. And the thing that popped out at me was, just real estate is a contact sport. It's really getting back to the fundamentals of not being afraid to pick up the phone, not being afraid to make those texts, not being afraid to go out and have coffee and meet as many people as you possibly can, as well as really contacting your database, getting organized in your database, setting up the right systems and tools. I mean, these are just quick things that I'm not even really going to go bullet point by bullet point, but these are the fundamentals of any real estate business. Your job every single day is to go out and meet as many people as possible, try to get as many appointments as possible, and turn those relationships into real relationships that are going to build your pipeline. I know during the pandemic, it became really easy to think transactionally, when that next thing is coming, when I've got to field new offers for, send out new multiple offers. And so we're shifting now back into just really, it's a different type of contact sport right now. And it's really just about building those relationships again, because we're going to be filling up that pipeline. So one of the things that I love that we talked about earlier was really leaning into your community as well. It cannot, I've been in this business for over 20 years, you guys, and your network is your net worth. And it is absolutely true. It's both in your peers, the people that are in this call today, but it's the people that you're going to also meet in the business in the near future that are outside of your local area. I'm sort of the flip reverse. I feel like I know more people in outer areas of the country than I know right here locally. So I love doing this because this builds up my support network, but the people that are outside of your support network are your referral network, your referral business, your people that you're going to be able to touch to help you build relocations, anybody that's moving across country, getting a new job. These are the kind of life events that are moving housing forward. The economy is going to be a big driver of that. So we're not going to see the casual home buyer or the people with 100% cash financing. We're really going to start to see the people that are going to be they need to move, or they've got an investment that they need to make. Maybe they're offloading funds from their stock market portfolio. But these are the kind of people that are making really strategic decisions about housing more than anything. So I think that's really, really important to remember. I can't see the chat. So if someone was chatting, I can't pull that up right now. But anyway, moving on, it's also time to sort of take a step back and read the room. I don't know what social media channel most of you are on, but we have been in this very fast pace of building a digital creator economy. And with that, we have a tendency to be really great about planning our own content. How am I going to get in front of my clients? What is the great, cool thing that I'm going to say today? And yes, it's so important to continue to build your brand. But when the market changes, the sentiment changes. And it's really important to be strategic about your marketing messages, as well as how you are sort of showing up for each other. So for example, I mean, if we think back to 2020, when when real estate for a brief moment was a non-essential business and everything shut down, we immediately went into, holy crap, what am I going to do? But the first thing we all said together was, we're going to reach out to each other. We're going to check in on our clients and do that. So right now we're sort of back into that. So as you're building your personal brand and you're thinking about the content that you're putting out there, really read the room. And again, go back to, don't just address the, don't give information and marketing messages that are just out there to build views and engagement. You really need to get that message out to prospects and clients. This isn't about impressing other agents. This isn't about, going out and seeing how many likes you got on your posts. This is really about, on social media, making sure that you're educating, that you are the advisor, that people know that you have confident leadership, not only in your own business, but in helping others guide their own decisions in real estate, because it's more anxiety and fear that's driving a lot of people's skepticism in sales. And your job right now is to calm the waters, help people understand how to make the best decisions, and rallying the people in your world that help you with the right vocabulary, the right language, and the right way to approach any situation, whether it's in financing, whether it's in marketing, whether it's in helping educate on the rates rising or the rates lowering, but it's really about understanding the sentiment that's in the room. People are going to go through some pain. And I think sometimes it's good to sort of take a break from the really trending audios and the cute videos and actually go in and be the advisor that we all are and lead with confident leadership. There's pros and cons to every market. All of you that went into the chat today and told me where you were from, it's different in every single one of those spaces. Own it. Just own your farm, own your community, and find ways to really discuss what's going on to your audience. So really quickly, I want to dive into systems. And this is a great book. If any of you have picked up Atomic Habits, as you go into sort of rebuild mode and close out this year and go into the new year, if you are one of those, I'm going to read a book during the holidays. This is a great one, because one of the things that I pulled out of it is, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the levels of your system. So usually in a fast-paced environment, like we've just seen these past 2 years, you've probably picked up some, it's been at a certain speed, and now you can kind of get back to this fundamental of making sure that your systems, everything that you're doing in your tech stack, everything that you're doing for your marketing, everything that you're spending your hours and time on, are absolutely in the best shape they possibly can be, so that you can optimize the time that you're spending only on income producing activities. Again, we go back to just set those goals of making those calls. It's going to be probably an extra 50% effort, if not more so, on everything that you used to be able to do, and now it's going to be switched back into these fundamentals. So it's about execution, it's about your productivity, and that helps build out your longevity. So it's preparing to go back into the next shift, which is actually opening everything back up again, and things are going to come at you, and it's going to be about expansion mode again. So are you going to be ready for that? And that could be everything. I know that Kenny is really big into the technology and marketing side. This could be everything from getting used to doing more video and like, setting up your Zoom backgrounds or your different backgrounds, kind of thinking through what digital content you can create to help people navigate this really wonky environment that we're in. It's about creating those new relationships that, again, will continue to spark those new relationships and new opportunities. My background is actually, when I started in real estate, I was a virtual assistant for a team in the Livermore, Pleasanton area. We actually farmed Ruby Hill, many of you might know. But I was doing everything virtually then, and I was taking on a lot of the tasks and marketing things for the team. So if you're in a position to be able to pull together your resources for people that can help you with marketing, video editing, getting things posted and distributed, those are the perfect things to help delegate. So I would encourage you that if you have, people that you can share to do that, then do so that you can open up more of your time to be able to do more of the income producing things that you need to do. And, sometimes they're hard to do if you haven't had to do that, but I think it's really, really important. Another key thing is the path is in the math. Again, it's knowing your numbers, knowing what you want your productivity to be, not only in your goals, but what is in your pipeline, and also what you need to increase to continue to drive the kind of hopefully profitability back into 2023. So a lot of this is just a balance of making sure that your expenses are where they need to be, but that you're handling your time blocking, that you are finding out which times to reach out to clients are the best, finding out which ways to communicate are the best. Is it better to send them a text? Is it better to send an email? Is it better for them on a newsletter? These are great ways to kind of discover what works best for you so that you're not struggling with what doesn't work. What you also want to strive to do is find consistency. So every day when you wake up in the morning and you've got your calendar scheduled out for you, unless there's something in a transaction that's taking you away from that day, set up what a successful day looks like for you and write it down. Set up what a successful month looks like to you and write that down. And then as you're building, you're going to reverse engineer what your next year is going to look like. So we want to take away from, the rinse repeat of, the Fed's raising interest rates. What are we going to do about that? But it's about how are you showing up for yourself? Not just how you're showing up for your clients, but it's about how you're showing up for yourself. And again, how are you creating the understanding your numbers and creating the fundamentals that are going to help you with your systems and your time. I wanted to take just a couple of minutes to talk about the watch out for. So again, about optimization, it's always doing like a self audit, right? So take a look at all of your social media channels, make sure that all of your contact information is up to date. If you need to get new headshots, if you need to get new branding on all of your social media channels, look at those things. These are really important ways to sort of strategically send a message to your market that you are still working, that you are still motivated, that you are still building your personal brand without having to come right out and say, I'm still in real estate, I'm still out here to work for you. It's really just about sending out these really strategic messages. So don't be afraid to go ahead and spend a little on getting your business. Like if you're the mindset that I can really refresh my business, revamp my brand, talk about a personal rebrand, get excited about your business again and think about ways that you're going to start fresh next year, because that sends a very strong message. If we think about all the ways that Crest gives us new toothpaste brands, I don't know of another way that you can think of yourself as being able to strategically go out into the market and say, I'm here, I'm doing these new things, I'm fresh, I'm working. Keep reminding people. And that's a very confident way to lead in leadership out in your farm and in your community and your market. But one of the things that you can do is also take a look at the ways that you really can get real about maybe ways that you're wasting time, and either delegate these things away or eliminate them. So these could be very bad habits. So time wasting bad habits. We all have them. I have them. I put up a reel yesterday and I probably spent 4 hours just watching the views and the engagement on that. And I know that I'm not the only one. So time block your social media, but also be able to close it off when it's time to make those calls and it's time to reach into that database. It's time to go in deep. Make sure that you are not just looking at the vanity metrics and comparing yourself to others, but that you're really making strategic business decisions based on truly understanding the performance and how it actually lands into your business ROI, right? So it doesn't matter if you make, 10 reels in a week and you have a ton of engagement, if they're not increasing the phone calls, the appointments, the lead gen for you, then it's time to back off of that a little and make sure that you're actually reaching out to try to find those folks that aren't just scrolling like you all day long, that they're actually out there, they're picking up the phone, they're going to the coffee shop, they're getting out from, getting out from behind their home offices, and they're really going out and talking with home builders and, seeing what's going on in the market. And again, unintentional marketing. So what do we call unintentional marketing? So again, understand who you are trying to attract. Part of rebuilding and building your personal brand is, and why that's so important, is that you are really sending those messages as to who you are. What is your essence? What is the thing that drives you? What is your passion? Is it, really helping first-time home buyers? Is it really helping the people find the best investments? Is it really helping other agents? Is it helping new families? Whatever that is, build that into your own personal branding so that this is unique to you, right? So that you're building something that is your unique value proposition. This will help you attract the clients that want to talk to you as opposed to someone else. So just make sure that whatever content you're putting out there, if it's not valuable, remind yourself, if this is not valuable to someone that I want to pick up the phone and call me about a listing, or I'm buying, or I'm ready to get into the market, or I have a question about investing in your area, really upgrade those messages so that they are less about the frenzy and the memes and the things that are going on, but it's really about demonstrating your value and talking about your community and talking about the businesses that are still thriving, talking about new ones that are coming in, talking about what's going on with the schools, and making that a part of your digital marketing messages as much as it is reaching into that database and checking in with people and keeping them informed. This is just a last slide that's just really kind of a wrap up of everything. Again, it's just take a step back, take a deep breath, take stock of everything that you have in your business, in your life, your health, your well-being, what you want to accomplish, what can I control right now? What can I not control? Because all of this affects your productivity. We all know that when we have a stressful day, that what we do is we have a tendency to sort of shut down, procrastinate, I'll do it tomorrow. This is a huge self-help time in our lives. It has been for these past 2 years, but I think we're going to miss the opportunity to really think about building something special going into 2023. So really think about what your own personal brand is and ways that you can help each other continue to build out all of your unique value propositions going out there in the market. I know that you guys have done like an in-house studio and in-house marketing and video, and I think that is one of the most brilliant opportunities that you guys have that is well above probably just about any brokerage that's out there, and lean into that. Absolutely 100%. Have brainstorming sessions on what content should we be putting out there right now. What are some new ways that I can shoot a listing? What's a new way that I can give the Ritz-Carlton service to my clients? what are things that really work right now, and keep doing those. It's a fresh start for everybody. I really just wanted to take a quick second too to just talk about using PR and media. As you know, Inman, we love our community. We love on our community. Kenny, again, and I'm hoping Elias and many of you, as you start to think into the new year, one of the things that we love to do is talk to you about what's working, what's not working. How can we help you be that expert, not only in your local area, but nationally? How do we help you build your profile so that people know that you're the go-to person to talk to? I could call Kenny any day and say, I need some really good tech tips right now that are going to be really engaging for my team. They're going to help build my team, and you guys have the goods. You can become those for other agents as well. So one of the things that we do at Inman is we love people that are writers, bloggers, podcasters. If you're one of those that would like to get more personal attention, Inman's a great way to kind of dip your toe into the market, the bigger scene. You can get to know, you can start with me, and we have a contributor, contributing editor that can take any topic that you'd like to write about or podcast about. Let me know. We can probably get it published, and it'll get a lot more views through our readership nationally. Another thing that's really great, use your local media, your TV stations, your different local, I know that Pleasanton had like our Pleasanton News. There's always a local news publication. Be the go-to person for telling people what's going on in the market. Read those papers, because if they're serving up inaccurate information, you can be the person that says, yes, I'd love to speak to your editor. I would like to talk a little bit more in depth about what's going on in the market if you're open for it. And lean into being a resource for them as well. And don't be afraid to bring in other businesses to highlight. Consider yourself the journalist and the commentator of your local area. And I guarantee you'll sort of widen your horizons there. You'll touch more people with, again, getting back to that unique value proposition and attracting the clients and the relationships that are going to serve your business in the future. And again, this is about network effects, right? The more people you know, the more people that you have in your network, the more people you can trust, the more they're going to trust you, and you'll be a bigger, better, confident, and really understand the nuances, and be able to be that advisor that everybody needs long term. It's going to be a ride out. People are going to need you all. And all of the tools and all of the things that you have available to you, really learn those, and take the time to really be strategic about how you're going to launch and deploy everything that you need to in your business to build your personal brand, and to keep moving forward. And also, attend those conferences. I'm going to make one little quick thing here, whether it's a virtual meeting like this, whether it's a bigger conference like an Inman Connect, which we have in January, just come be a part of it. See what sparks your joy, see what sparks your inspiration, see what can help change the trajectory of you. And that's what you are in control of. And that's the end of my presentation. I hope I get to stop talking now for a bit. See if I can get out of this.
Absolutely incredible. If you just want to stop sharing your screen.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up to the team. I see people's eyes. I see people's pins. And I'm curious to know what some of their takeaways are, questions, insights, or contributions are on this conversation, because I thought, Laura, that was super powerful. A couple of things that you said that really stood out to me. It's like control the controllables, right?
Yeah.
You can start with yourself and making sure that your body, mind, and spirit is on point, but making sure that as the market shifts, well, then you can control the amount of calls, the amount of times, the amount of reach outs that you're doing. That's within our reach, right? We're either going to complain or where they're going to take action. So I love this. Answerthepublic.com, you guys. We've been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. But if you want to see what consumers are actually asking about the real estate market right now, go to answerthepublic.com and you'll see all of the questions that consumers are asking, and then say, you know what? I'm going to go and turn that into some content and address the questions that consumers are asking. If you're
And
just
Reddit is a great place too. Tons of people go in there about real estate, ask about real estate.
100%, 100%. So you have the ability to say, if you're doing fun stuff, I get it on IG, on TikTok, but if they're not hearing your voice and you're not actually giving them something of value, then they're going to scroll past. So absolutely love that. And I saw something today that reminded me of this conversation. It says, Kenny posted it and then I reposted it. It says, I don't have time to create content. Then you most certainly don't have the time to consume content, right? We all have the time to create content because all of you are probably at some point in the day consuming some level of content. So I want you guys to think about that. And I love this quote that you said, this, be the journalist and the commentator of your community. You guys, we've been talking about this for months and months and months. Go out there and be the spokesperson of your community, the restaurants, the new places, the farmers market. And so I think that's right in alignment with the conversation that we've been having. And shout out to Kenny, always looking out for us and looking out for the team. In Brentwood, you guys now have new content room. There's lighting, there's nice setup. You guys can go in there, create content, and we're gonna start building that out, that all of the offices, Southern California and everywhere in between. And so excited about watching each of you elevate and take your personal brands to the next level, because that is the sentiment of our business right now. Agents of tomorrow are the agents that have built a strong personal brand. And I promise you guys that is the center of what we want to do for you guys. It's not about fast real estate. It's not about EXP. It's about your guys' brand. So absolutely love this message. Let's do this, you guys. I want to hear from 5 people. I want to make sure that I keep everybody on time. Thoughts, questions, contributions, or insights, go ahead and raise your hand. Melody, I saw your hand up. So let's go to you first. And you guys would like to open it up to the rest of you.
Thank you, Elias. Hi, Laura. I actually met you at Jeremy Larson's event in Santa Cruz. I thought you rocked the mic. You were absolutely amazing. So it's nice to see you again, and thank you for your contributions today. I took so many notes. I'm definitely going to implement. I'm already sending Slack messages to my VA about different ideas that you gave me today. So I really appreciate you taking the time and sharing with us. Everything that you said is absolutely right on point, and I felt it, about when it comes to the community and being of contribution and giving back and creating that sense of community is my kind of like my go-to thing that I always revert back to because I love it and I'm passionate about it. And so one of the things that I'm actually doing is I'm hosting a panel of top producing agents in the Bay Area that are moms in real estate. And I think it's just a beautiful way to kind of end or kick off the end of the year. We're moving into a more thoughtful time of the year. We're moving into a more gracious time of year. Things are a little more, slow paced and closer to our hearts. So I thought one of the things that need to get highlighted are moms that are absolutely rocking it in this business. And, I feel like it's just something that doesn't get talked about enough. So I would love to connect with you offline about maybe having you come out or, just talk to you about your ideas for the event. Would love to get your input and feedback on it. Hattie Goodspeed is actually sponsoring the event. And she'll be speaking at it as well. So anyways, just let me know what the best way to connect with you would be. And I would love to do that.
That'd be great. Laura@inman.com. You want to just shoot me a quick email and we'll put something on the calendar? That'd be great.
Awesome.
Perfect. Laura@inman.com.
Laura@inman.com. And
Awesome.
anything, reach out to me anytime. Yeah.
Awesome. Let's continue the conversation, you guys. Who else has a thought or a contribution or a question on the topic for Laura? Does anybody want to ask a question? Let's go to Tony Knott. Tony Knott, rapid fire, my man. What's your question? You're muted, bro. You're muted. Still muted. All right. We'll come back to you, Tony, when you fix.
How's that?
There we are.
Better. There we
Sorry
go.
about that. Sorry. Yeah, thanks, Laura. This was incredible. And just I got so much value out of the last
Good.
half hour. Thank you so much. So just real quick, I have a question. As someone coming into the business new, there is so much, in a sense, overwhelm as far as like, tools and resources. And as you mentioned earlier, ways to do real estate. And in the interest of not drowning amongst all that and trying to be as efficient with your time and your days as possible, in your opinion, what do you think for someone like myself coming into the business, what would you, if you were in that position, focus on primarily, maybe one or two or three things in amongst all the things out there that there is to focus on?
Yeah, well, I think definitely anything that we're doing to be your first impression digitally is your digital breadcrumb of your personal social profiles. So whether or not you use every single social media platform out there, it's important to have a very consistent look and feel to your image, your photo, what it is that you're saying. So do like a social media audit to make sure that no matter where anybody is finding you on their journey on the internet, on the internet, they're finding something that's very consistent, and make sure that it looks welcoming and approachable and accessible. The worst thing you can have right now is a bunch of low resolution, selfies that you're using for your photos or, on your social media profiles. Like, this is where we really step up the game. That's the first thing, is having a first impression of your personal brand and wanting people to reach out to you. The second thing is content, right? So nothing really drives the wheel of business more than content. So the next thing I would be doing is thinking, what is my social platform of choice? What is my medium of choice? Do I have a website that's set up? Look at all of the digital marketing tech stack. Like, what's in my tech stack? Social media, website. What are the ways that I'm networking? What is my primary choice for getting the word out? Do I have the right phone? Do I have the right cameras? Do I have the right studio equipment? Do I have what I need to create the content that I really want to create? There's millions of blog posts and information out there about things that you can talk about, things that are, and I would really love to see us get back to the world of real estate in terms of our community and our neighborhoods and our homes, not just the interest rates and the affordability and like this whole cacophony of like, we're just manifesting more panic and more fear the more we talk about it. Let's get back to real estate. Get back to talking about your communities, your businesses, your homes, what you love about this. So that content should really be attracting that person that really needs information about where they're going to move. Help sellers understand where they can move. These are things that you just kind of want to start scoping out. So even put them in an editorial calendar. For the month of January, what can I come out and talk about? And on which channel am I going to do that? And then make sure that you're always finding ways in every single day to reach out to new people, reach out to people that you know, and keep going into your database and make that a regular thing. Those are the things. So content, your database, your social media channels, and your personal brand. Just know who you are, what you're to say.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love this. Good question, Tony. You guys, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Where are people moving to, right? So where are your feeder markets and where are people moving to? And if you go back and watch the session that we did with Stephen Hurd, he did a whole entire session on this. So imagine this. Imagine you do a video sharing with people the stats and figures and data of the cities that they're most frequently moving to from California, from Denver, or wherever you are. Like, hey, you guys, what statistics show is that 30% of people that left Denver are moving to this place, and this place. I'm going to share with you some stats, some figures, and some data on these areas. And guess what? You've made referral partners in those areas. Like, oh, Tony, that was great information. Do you know anybody that can help me down in Texas? I sure do. I have a network of people that I've built that are just like me, that want to serve consumers at the highest level. I'm going to make sure to do an intro, right? And so it's like, there's so much opportunity for us to create, but at the end of the day, Tony, don't overthink it. Take one thing, go in on that, master that, and then move forward, my man. So I can help you with that. Feel free to book a coaching session with me. But let's hear from two other people
Thank you.
on this topic. I appreciate your contribution, Tony. But let's hear from two other people. Joellen, I'd love to hear from you. SoCal, I'd love to hear from you. Anybody else want to grab the mic, ask a question, contribute, or insight?
I'll go ahead. So I like the fact that, thank you, Laura, for this. I saw you in Santa Cruz too. It was great to see you.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. I'm up here in the Sacramento area, El Dorado Hills, Cameron Park. And I'm really trying to build my community by holding fundraisers, charity events, networking, throughout different industries.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready to join the Rotary Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I like the fact that you said to reach out to our medias, our local medias, to let them know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I'll start doing that. And then I like the fact that you said go to the conferences. So I
Yeah.
have the Saks Women Conference to go to this month. I also have the
Great.
Casa Gala, and then I'm holding my own networking event. So
Oh, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. I love that, because you're keeping your own energy and your own spirit moving forward. And I think never look behind you, always look forward and keep that energy going. I think that's great. Yeah, just keep doing that.
and
Yeah.
your brand, like you said, your brand, and I really think my brand is going to be giving. My brand is giving, I
Great.
believe. So
Yeah. You know, when I think about a lot of people that sponsor, like, you know, right now is like high school football and, you know, the different sports that are going on, like especially if you're a mom or you're a family, like make sure you're kind of reaching out to your schools and even saying, you know, is there any way that I can help sponsor, you know, the Friday night football games? Is there a way that I can show up? I mean, even if it's just dropping, you know, a case of branded water bottles off, or, you know, something like that, that's something that's affordable, but it makes a big impact and people remember that. There's a lot of really fun ways to get involved and create signage, you know, on these different places that help build your brand. But again, make sure it's consistent so that whatever photo you're putting on, you know, anything that's out in the wild, that actually matches what's on your social media, so that you don't look completely like a different person.
I love it. I love it.
Part
And
of good branding.
Joel, you could even make it an acronym. You could have an acronym that is like #give, and like the give stands for
Yeah.
like gather, inspire, value, educate. I don't know. I'm just throwing out
well,
words.
my LLC, my business name is Together We Move.
I love it.
Together we move in homes, together we move in charity, together we move as agents, together. I believe that it's a blanket for everything.
It's your mission, it's your values. And this is part of building, these are the fundamentals of building a good brand, whether it's a personal brand, whether it's a company. Know your mission, know your values, and every decision that you make in marketing is going to be based on those. And that's what's going to shine through. And this is the perfect example of a unique value proposition. Everything that you put out is going to go back to that. And that's going to make people reach out.
Yeah,
Perfect.
I love that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We had
Yeah.
this conversation. I had an agent ask me, well, what do I create and what do I say? Well, first off, get in alignment with what your core values are,
Yes.
and then
Yes.
build content based off of those core values. So then
Yeah.
so I appreciate you saying that, Joel, and great contribution. Let's go to one more person, Erin Grace, Southern California. Love the hat this morning. Let's hear from you. Question, insight, thoughts for Laura.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's raining down here, if you guys can believe that. So I really love this because I've been speaking to Elias and Gabrielle about rebranding, and Joellen is like my sister from another mister, because we kind of think alike in terms of where we want to be with our business and how community is at the forefront. So Laura, I really appreciate all of the insight that you gave today, because with regards to branding, like I also want to be that community realtor, if you will. Like I know everybody says that sounds so cliche, but I want to give. And I've did my fall harvest. We're doing a food drive in the office for our local food bank here during the Christmas. We gather toys and collect toys and give them to the Boys and Girls Club. So I want to continue to do that. That's kind of like what fulfills me the most. And so for me, I feel like I want to focus on that in the coming year, along with, like you said, the branding and making sure that that is super visible.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, if you do nothing else, I mean, if business is hard to come by, or you have, you know, slower months, that's really when you do the things that will get you out there. And those are perfect examples because they're heartfelt, right? And people trust that. And really what they need right now to get past fear and anxiety is that they have someone that is calm and trusting and warm and welcoming. And that is the first thing that's going to help someone pick up the phone. Truly.
I love this.
It beats a cheesy reel any day of the week. It's really showing up and showing how you're showing up. So be your own journalist too. You know, make sure that you have a media page. If you have a photographer that's taking photos of your different events in the community, make sure you write a blog about that. Make sure that you're sending it out to the local paper. Make sure that you're, hey, just wanted to let you know that we're doing this, and that if anybody has any questions, you know, invite anybody that you know. You can be really warm and open, and that openness really becomes part of, you know, who you are. And that really, again, will go back to attracting the right people for you and aligning you with the right folks. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Appreciate your contribution, Erin. Here's what I would do is right now is I would team up with a fellow agent in your market. And here's where I'd spend a little bit of money: a Santa suit, a giant snow globe, and a fake snow machine. And here's what you would do. What I would do is I would throw an event in my community and bring a photographer out and do Santa pictures for the entire community. And on the picture that they get, there's a QR code. And guess where that QR code goes? That goes back to a free home valuation, right?
Yeah.
Seriously, because now you're going to talk to your entire community, and who doesn't want pictures with Santa? I promise you guys, if you did this, you would absolutely blow up. If you can do it in the office, who's going to do it in Sacramento? Who's going to do it in Brentwood? Who's going to do it in Fairfield? You guys have the opportunity. That money, that's money well spent.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you could return the snow globe if you want.
Yeah, I would. And another one that I would do is, you know, a lot of times this time of year, the SPCA has a lot of puppies and kitties and things like that that need adopting. I think it would be amazing to do like an adoption drive for puppies or cats, whichever you prefer, and put them in their little holiday costumes and take a few photos of them and say, here's a few more members of my community that I'm sponsoring, and put something like that out there. It depends on what really drives you, but the public loves that kind of stuff. And more often than not, you have to remember it's not just the people that are currently living there, but sometimes it's somebody that might see you from a neighboring community that might be thinking of moving there. You know, that might be the thing. So it's just really about just showing up for your people. Yeah, it's perfect.
I love it. I love it. I heard from my coach oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I have one more question. So I'm considering really doing YouTube videos on community. What are your thoughts on that, Laura?
I love it. You know, YouTube is really going into the vertical shorts. So if you've been really used to doing things on Instagram or Facebook and you want to move into YouTube, I think it's great. And here's the biggest reason why I love YouTube. YouTube is open to the World Wide Web. When you're on Instagram or Facebook, you're closing yourself off to only people that are there. But when you open it up, you're searchable, you're findable, you can use the right kind of SEO options for all of your descriptions, your meta tagging, all of that. So I would encourage anyone in 2023 to really kind of start looking at what you can do on YouTube, just because that's going to really get you out into some search engine optimization that you can't find on Instagram and Facebook, which I think is really important, especially now that we can kind of take our skills that we've learned and loop them into YouTube. Yeah, so I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it. Great contributions. We talked to our coach yesterday. She said, in your community, send out a postcard and saying like, this was the #1 top place for decorations, right? Like this home won $20, you know, partner up with your vendor or somebody from your title, or excuse me, your home warranty company, and be like, this was the #1 house in the area for decorations, and it's just to get your name and your face out there.
Yeah, or even
So-
set up your own contest, submissions.
Absolutely.
One thing that I did hear just recently was a technique where instead of you making a certain block of calls, get a 1-800 number that you can get off of, like, I think there's even a thing called Community where you can get like a 1-800 number and have people call into you submitting the best home decorations in the neighborhood. And guess what? You're going to have their phone number in your bank. So if you can get like the radio stations used to do, top 100 caller is going to get this. So
Yes.
see if you can just get like a nice 1-800 number, get people to call into you, give them a reason to do it, give a giveaway at the end. And this is a great way for people to actually reach out to you and do something really fun. Submit photos, whatever that little hook is, get them to reach out to you. So it could be phone number, it could be send a photo here, whatever. That way you have, your reason to capture some additional contact information.
I love it. You guys, we are over our time limit for this week, but I want to say thank you to Laura, and I want you guys to
Thank you.
understand this. Non-negotiable time, right? This is the time of the year where you have to say, you know what? I got some people that are looking at me, that are counting on me. I can truly turn around my entire year in the next 2 months. And literally, you guys have a good 30 days to give it, to say, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes. And it's all within you guys. You guys know, you hear enough of what you can do. Now you just go out there and just do one thing, right? Say, okay, today I'm going to go out, and if it's not raining, I get it, and I'm going to go knock on 100 doors. Something positive is going to happen to you, I promise. And so this is about the time where you raise the intensity, you raise your actions, and go out there and have some fun, and really make sure that you have Christmas escrows and you have holiday escrows in the works. So go out there and make it happen. Laura, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you.
Thank
Just a
you.
quick heads up, we have 2 special guests coming on the 9th and on the 16th. The 9th, we have Connor Mermain, who's going to talk more about content. And then on the 16th, we have the tattooed realtor, Justin Mercer. If you guys don't know about this dude, he is the epitome of being able to be who he is, building some of the best marketing that I've seen in the game. It's risky, it's edgy, but you know, he's built an amazing marketing company, and he is an amazing realtor. So excited about what's ahead. Laura, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your contributions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So have a
Thank you,
wonderful
everyone.
day. Now go out there and show Laura your receipts, meaning go and take
Yeah, show me the receipts.
some. You guys
Thanks
have a
so
great day.
much.
Appreciate
Take
you
care,
being here.
everyone.
Bye now.